Hello, everyone. My name is Bryce Payton, and this is my EDL 959 module number 5, uh, evaluating formal, informal, cultural responsive, and accessible assessments. So the resources wanted to go through them, and at first I wanted to find out what exactly the definitions were of assessment and evaluation. So assessment provides feedback on the knowledge, skills, and the outcomes versus evaluation that determines level of the quality of performance or the outcome. So, the assessment could be something simple that tells them about the knowledge that they have on the subject versus the actual quality of it with the evaluation. Um, Assessment provides strengths and areas of improvement. It allows there to be growth and look and determine what needs to be fixed. Evaluation is strictly, was the standard met or not. It's more cut and dry. Process of appraising something for someone or someone, and process of making judgments on performance or outcomes, which is very similar to what I've been saying on top up there on evaluation. And assessments are more formative, and evaluations are more summative. And that those resources kind of spell it out there, relatively easy for us all. But it was good to get a refresher on exactly the assessment versus the evaluation portion. So why are assessments important? Evaluates effectiveness of instruction. That's pretty clear. As teachers, we need that to an extent. We need to know whether the students are comprehending what we're doing, and assuring us that they know how to do it before you move on to the next step. It provides feedback, gives us feedback on, like I just mentioned, whether they're meeting their goals, and understanding the content. Ensuring educational goals are met, making sure that they are meeting those benchmarks, understanding the content areas, and it also can motivate performance. I know that we've had some students in our district that have struggled at times, but those are the same ones that seem to go one way or the other, where they just fall into the trap where I'm not very smart, or it's I really don't want those types of grades and I want to be better. And you see those kids really improve and motivate themselves off their performance of assessments. And in the middle school right now, we have testing done, and students that are on tier 3 on MTSS, they get strats classes instead of taking them out of their elective courses. So that instantly motivates them to want to get out of the strats classes and perform better, so they can get back into the courses that they would like to go into. Some negative impacts on assessments and evaluation. Obviously, there's some negatives to it. Educators tend to teach to the test, and that's not always best. We all know teachers that understand what's on the state assessments, and they want to teach directly towards that and highlight on those points, especially towards the end of the year when they know that's coming up. So that can negatively affect our students. Years worth of learning and teaching boils down to just the results. Whole years worth of good, bad, ugly, growing, challenging each other, challenging the students, watching them grow, the little milestones that they meet, um, all boils down to the results on a standardized test at the end of the year. And I don't think that's necessarily indicative of the teacher and what they've done the whole entire year on whether a kid tested well that day. Um, Not enough attention put on the regional barriers. Um, there's it all depends on. There's so many factors that go into play. Um, where the students live, their home life, their socioeconomic status, um, any language barriers and such. Punishment mentality versus the improvement. It's more, why didn't you do this? Okay, now you have to do this, versus just focusing on what we need to improve on, and narrowing that down. We need to change, a negative impact of it. We need to kind of look geared towards getting our students to critically think more um, than just be able to scribble in on a dotted worksheet. Um, and also, it puts so much pressure on our students. Um, I remember just a few years ago when I was in the special education department, my kids would get so nervous, and we'd have to take so many breaks and talk so many kids into performing on any sort of assessment, because they would just freak themselves out and make themselves a nervous wreck. Um, Assessments culturally relevant and responsive. Allow students to write them in home languages. Um, and this kind of goes with another point here: is assess the knowledge of the student, not the other things. Uh, you know, the student should be able to be assessed on the actual the knowledge of what they know, versus trying to hurdle any of the barriers that are in their way. Uh, excuse me. Collaborate with any families um, to get their knowledge on the students, and how we can help them assess them better traditionally. And look in traditional assessments to include their cultural knowledge, and that just kind of goes back with the others, that just kind of meeting with the families, understanding them culturally, and making sure that the assessments are relevant to them, and kind of include their own culture, so they feel a part of it as well. Some types of assessments, USD 114. Obviously the standardized tests, um, formative and summative. We take normal um, assessments in all of your courses. Your math tests, your science tests. Um, a little bit more informals. Could be things in my PE class. We do lots of tests in my PE class, my weights class, that different speed, agility, and then some weightlifting as well. There we have some, in our district, we have some preps for the ACTs, screening for kindergarten and preschool and special education, stuff like that. But mostly we are formative and summative, and meeting the needs of our students in those areas. What is required in my building? I kind of put this towards my building in my district. We have to meet state standards. So whatever that means, per our department and grade level, that's what we do. Assessment wise, in the middle school, we are on the MTSS program, system of support. Excuse me. That goes right along with FastBridge. FastBridge is an assessment tool that math and English use uh, to tier our students and get them into specific categories that need to be improved upon, and then any strats classes that need to come off of that as well, that help our students in those areas, as well as IXLs. Those are kind of I would say informal and just um, informal and some informative. They just instant results, whether it be math or science or English. All of our um, core teachers use them uh, on a daily basis with our students. Well, semi-daily basis with them for assessments. And kind of our assessment plan at Riverside, it organizes our assessments by dates or seasons. Not specifically dates, but some of them are. Early on in the year or preschool. In August, before beginning of August was when they do the screenings, get kids screened for preschool, and so on and so forth, and testing dates for the ASVAB or the ACT are on there. Some Highland Community College testings on there. Also, just going back to it, it allows everyone to know what to expect, teacher-wise and student-wise, so we don't forget anything. So we make sure everything's on the schedule. Everybody, all the students know what to look forward to and what's going to be going on. It keeps everybody informed. It also shows us any flaws or oh shoot, that wasn't on there. We need to put that on there for next year. So it allows those things to happen for us, and it's been working out pretty well for us being on a district-wide set assessment plan. We evaluate results for any gaps quarterly for our students, and all of our assessments are culturally responsive in our district. Here's my reference page, and thank you very much.